Hey guys, my name is Sam Lee, and I'm here to talk to you today about parliamentary procedure. So what is parliamentary procedure? It's the format wherein MUN works. So when you go to a conference, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to learn that it's going to be regulated, that the debate and the discussions that you're having in MUN are regulated and moderated by parliamentary procedure. So there's 4 types of parliamentary procedure that I want to teach you today. Number 1, points. Number 2, motions. 3, caucuses. And 4, speakers list. So let's start with points. Points are generally conversations or questions that you want to ask to the chair. So basically, how it works is point of personal privilege. Can I go to the bathroom? Something like that. And right now, I'm going to teach you the 4 types of points. Number 1, order. Point of order is when you think that the chair has done something wrong with parliamentary procedure. So basically, point of order, we haven't moved into voting procedure yet. But generally at CHO, we encourage you not to use point of order because that just pisses the chair off. Number 2, point of inquiry. That's when you have a genuine question about parliamentary procedure. So it goes like this. Point of inquiry. What the heck is moderated caucuses? Number 3, point of personal privilege. It's when you want to go to the bathroom or when you think that the room is too cold. So point of personal privilege, can I go to the bathroom? And finally, point of information is when you want to clarify something that another delegate has said. So point of information, can the delegate of Syria please clarify what his resolution is about? Okay? So I think we're clear on points right now. So let's move on into motions. Motions are the way in which debate progresses in MUN. It's basically when you move on from one topic to another, or you move on from a moderated caucus to an unmoderated caucus. And we're going to talk to you about the caucuses in a moment. So for motions, there's various motions, like motion to open debate, motion to adjourn meeting, motion to close debate, motion to move on into moderated caucus, motion to move on into unmoderated caucus. And we're going to talk to you about those 2 right now. Alright. So caucuses are basically the meetings or the debates that you're having in MUN. Moderated caucuses are when the chair moderates the debate. It's when you have a specific speaking time, a specific moderated caucus time, and a specific topic. And you can't interrupt each other when you're in a moderated caucus. So for example, the motion that you give for a moderated caucus runs like this. Motion for a 10-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking time about the topic of military intervention in Syria. Understood? Okay, so that's how moderated caucus works. And it's basically when you want to have some substantive debate about an issue. For example, military intervention in Syria. Now, unmoderated caucus is somewhat different. It's when you want to have an informal discussion, a debate, or you want to have a recruitment or recruitment of other delegates to your block. So you can motion for a 10-minute unmoderated caucus, and then the chair usually will put that into voting, and then give you that kind of 10-minute unmoderated caucus. So during your unmods, we encourage you to interact with delegates, to talk with other power delegates, or talk with other delegates who may be supporters for your block, for your resolution, for your ideas. So in unmoderated caucuses, we generally encourage you to talk a lot and to gather support for your cause. And finally, the speakers list is when you have a list of delegates' names. France first, Russia second, USA third, and the list goes on. And it's when you have a specific speaking time about any topic in general. And you usually start with a speakers list, but when the vote fails for moderated caucuses or unmoderated caucuses, you usually revert back to the speakers list. So I think I may have confused you with just these 4 parliamentary procedures. So there's a flowchart that we have. You always start when you first get into into MUN conferences. You first set the agenda. You usually have have 2 or 3 agendas, and you choose the topic to which you debate. Okay? So the first topic could be motion to discuss about genocide in Syria, Or the second topic would be discussing about the genocide in Turkey. And then you put that to a vote, and then you could discuss about genocide in Turkey. Okay? And then you move on into speakers list, where we already explained to you, there's speakers, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, the list goes on. And then you usually put a motion for a moderated or an unmoderated caucus, and then you always put that to a vote. In MUN, everything works with a vote. So you put a moderated caucus to a vote, or an unmoderated caucus to a vote, and then depending on whether it passes or not, you move on into a moderated or an unmoderated caucus. And then finally, as I've told you, everything in MUN works with a vote, and your resolution will finally be put in a vote during voting procedure. Thank you, and I hope this clarified your questions about parliamentary procedure.